Welcome to Straight Outta Jersey. Today's podcast is brought to you by Ace Sunglasses. Go to acesunglasses.com.au to purchase some of the best shades around. Use promo code MRG30 and receive 30% off selected brands. That's Ace Sunglasses, the shades of true champions. And don't forget to subscribe to Straight Outta Jersey, hosted by Jersey Jay-Z. Powered by the Zapata brand studio. This is Straight Outta Jersey with Jersey Jay-Z. This outstanding actor has been in many roles, such as American Gangster and The Irishman with Robert De Niro. He's best known for his iconic role on The Sopranos. Straight Outta Jersey welcomes back to Jersey, Mr. Robert Funaro.
Welcome, guys, to Straight Outta Jersey. I am Joe Zapata, and when you think of Jersey, you think of Sopranos. And my guest right now, he was in The American Gangster with Denzel Washington, The Irishman with Robert De Niro, but he made his bones in The Sopranos as Eugene Pontecorvo. My friend, talented actor, Mr. Robert Funaro. How you doing, Bobby?
Hey, Jay-Z. What's up, Joe? What's happening, brother?
What's up, man?
Thank
How you been?
Beautiful intro. That was a great intro. Man, burn in hell if I betray my friends. One included.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You got to be a Jersey guy. Now, but you were born in Brooklyn, right?
I was born in Brooklyn, Coney Island, Ocean Parkway, that whole area there, Brighton Beach. Got hit by a car in Brighton Beach.
Oh, really?
Going for an ice cream cone. Uncle Nick came to the rescue and everything was okay.
That's good. Good. You look great, though. You look great. I hope you had a great weekend, Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, well,
and by the way, do you cook?
We cook between the raindrops.
Yeah. I saw on your Instagram you had some shrimp.
I did that today. Yeah, I did that.
You made me so hungry.
Yeah, man, that crab sauce. I clean the shrimp really well, and I like to clean it very well on both sides and fry it up just like mom, just plain with the eggs and the breadcrumbs, nothing fancy. And then of course the crab gravy. They're all blue claw crabs you can get. The Jersey crabs are coming up. They'll be up there end of July, August. But till then, go to ShopRite. They have blue claw crabs frozen in the frozen section.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So 17 years after Sopranos ended, you guys are still as popular as ever. I mean, how do you explain that?
One of the things is a couple of generations that began viewing The Sopranos after COVID. It seemed to have shot up the popularity of it because those two generations started checking it out. And I mean, everyone was just like coming up to me and saying, hey, that's great. I mean, so now I'm really recognized a lot more than I was before. Yes. But, of course, the show is like a great wine. It ages really well. And it was a composite for many other shows like Breaking Bad and stuff like that. And of course, James' acting, Gandolfini's acting is superb.
Yes.
And the writing, especially, you don't really get that. It's hard to replicate. Some people have, I'm not going to name names.
Yeah. So how did you get the acting bug? I think your Uncle Joe. Was that how it happened?
That's correct. Father Joe, God rest his soul. He was a Monsignor towards his latter priest career. When he first became a priest, he started directing shows for the church in Howard Beach, and there were musicals. And my father, of course, would take us to the musicals, and that's how I got the bug, so to say. And there was a musical, I think it was Hello, Dolly, that I had a crush on one of the dancers. And when she dropped out, I dropped out too. And he wasn't too happy with me for dropping out. But it was one of those things, musicals. I mean, I did Godspell and everything later on in college, but I really wasn't. But that's how I got the bug. Yeah. And then, of course, we would ham it up every Christmas time with my cousins. My cousin Joseph played guitar and stuff like that, and we would all get together and play Beatles, and he would play the Beatles, we'd sing. So we always ham it up, do skits.
That's pretty cool, man. Now James Gandolfini, I know him because Westwood is where he was born, and he grew up in Park Ridge, New Jersey, which is right by me. And my best friend used to teach him in high school. was James's teacher.
Wow.
So how did you get to? I think Streetcar Named Desire. I think that's where you started with him, right?
Yeah, let me just say that my uncle, he was a director, so that's what Father, Monsignor Funaro, that's what he was. He was a director, and that's how basically he was always directing us and everything. And so
there you go.
But anyway, backtracking to James, yes, I did Streetcar Named Desire. I still remember the day when I first saw him sweating in the entranceway to, I think, the Lion Theater on 42nd Street Theater Row. One of the theaters there. It may not have been the Lion, but it was near the Lion Theater. And we had auditions on the second floor in one of those theaters, and he was sweating. And I said, "Boy, this guy looks just like Mitch," because he played Mitch. We let it play on Broadway, and then we both landed. I landed Stanley, and he was Mitch, and we toured Scandinavia.
Oh, wow.
We went to Sweden, then Finland, and finally Norway.
Oh, wow. So then you came
like a troupe,
Oh, wow. So then how did you sort of get the role of Sopranos now? I know, how did that happen? You were still acting. Did James help you?
Well, no, I wasn't. I had a little stint at Madison Square Garden, and then I was kind of forced to leave. I had to hand in my resignation, and it's so strange that under resignation I said, I'm going to pursue my career, but I had to resign. I'm not going to say why, but I had to. A family member got me in. Someone found out about it, so I got to do the right thing, like Vito Andolino. You got to do the right thing. No, it's okay. No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I got it. And anyway, so I did the right thing, and I went to Caroline's on Broadway. A friend of mine got me the job. The same person, my friend Gordon Silva, who got me the job, really went up to James at a party. To fast forward, we're talking about 10, 11, 12 years after Streetcar, and James went to LA, did True Romance. He came back to New York, and then he did Sopranos. And I watched a few of them. It was the second year. I wasn't so much into the show. I was raising a family. I had a kid, and my son Tomas, and things happened, and so I became I was the smallest, the skinniest bouncer on Broadway, and then I became a manager at Caroline's on Broadway. I worked there for 8 years, and finally, Gordon Silva, my friend, my best friend at the time, he went up to James at a party, and he said, "Hey, if I was you, I would get your friend Bobby Funaro a job on your show." And James said, I've told this story numerous times, but it's a really cool story because it shows you what kind of person James was. He said, "Well, what's Bobby doing?" He said, "Well, he's managing Caroline's on Broadway." I said, "Oh, okay, that's cool." So now a role came up on Sopranos. He thought I was right for. He came down one night. I came to work. I descended the Caroline steps. You have to go down below. Elysium down there. It was like the Elysium, and I needed to break free like Prometheus. And he was there at the bar, to liberate me and asked me if I wanted to audition. He couldn't promise me anything. And he said, but I'll get you the audition. And I landed a role on, and that's how I landed the role on Sopranos. And the rest is history. I've been working professionally ever since. You
auditioned for Ralph Cifaretto originally,
yes,
right?
That's what he said. That's what I originally, and I did, and I landed that role. And it really wasn't working out. David didn't really dig the chemistry between me and James. And I could understand, we're two big guys, and who chose was a better nemesis, Joey Pantaleone. It just made more sense. But he did ask me to stay on the show. And what did I say? Of course, yes, I am going to. We'll make a character up. And Eugene became, and who was Eugene? I didn't know. And I asked, and they said, we'll make it up as we go along. That's what we do on TV. And that's what happened. Wow. It kind of evolved into a bigger role.
Bigger role, yes. Yeah. Did you read for David Chase? Or
yeah, we did read for David Chase, and read David Chase, and also all the other members of the team. It was like the Inquisition. First, you read with Georgianne Walken; she loved me, and then they asked you to go to Silver Cup Studios to meet everyone. Because David was a big plurality guy. He was a very democratic director, but I must say he was the kind of director that anyone, or artistic director, you might say, anyone would want to be associated with, because he took chances on unknown actors, and not many directors do that, especially in TV. They just want that particular type, and that's it, and they don't really want to take chances on unknowns, and that's the greatness of David Chase, besides his genius for the show, the creation, and the writing, and putting together a good team and casting the right actors.
Yeah. David Chase, I got to meet him once by accident, because the pilot episode was actually filmed at the building I worked at. When Tony hits the guy with the HMO with the car on the lawn, that was filmed in Paramus, Jersey. Wow, and I worked in that building, and it happened on a Friday. They did the setup, and they filmed on the weekend. And I just happened to be there, and I got to talk to him, and I asked him, "Oh, what are they doing?" Because Sopranos wasn't known. It was a pilot episode. And he said, "Oh, it's a commercial. It's not even going to be on TV." That's what he said to me. Like, he didn't really, he was like, "Don't worry about it." He was really quiet, but didn't really say much to me. I said, okay. And next thing you know, I'm like, oh my God, the Sopranos. You know, it's crazy how it happened.
It's funny that James circled back to where his father worked over there in Paramus. I believe his father was
too.
In Paramus and everything. And he was from Jersey, James.
And he was a Jersey guy.
I think that the role went to the right person, because he really had a great feel for the whole area, the indigenous people of New Jersey. You know?
Yeah. So, now, your role kind of blew up. I think the Snapple bottle hit is when you became, oh wow, this guy's really a maniac now. You remember filming that? How was that like? The first
snap out, as some people said, he was a snap out. You know, kept quiet, but he snapped. He was one of those snap outs characters. That's what he snapped. Yeah, I remember filming it. It was I remember getting the script at the reading, and I said, "Wow, this is great. This is it kind of opens me up a little bit to kind of." The snap out personality. So Edie Falco came up to me and said, "Oh, you got to smash somebody over in the head." Yeah.
Yes. And that role, right there kind of changed you, and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's going to be the tough guy in the whole thing."
Yeah.
So that was season 3, I think, right?
Yeah. With Will was there, of course. All the guys, Dan Grimaldi and Joe Caniscoli and all the guys, and wonderful Jeff Marchetti, and it was a great experience that construction site. We had a good time, we got it in one take. It was a sugarcane Snapple bottle made of sugarcane, very thin, and it was great to just get it in one take, because it could be dangerous, could get in your eye and stuff like that.
Hitting stuntman? That's who they told you to hit, the stuntman?
Yeah, we had a stuntman. We had a stuntman. Yes.
Oh, wow. So as your role started continuing, you started getting bigger and bigger roles. When did David say that you were going to have a family and start growing your character more?
Well, that was the beginning of season 6.
Okay.
David really didn't say. What happened was, I started getting messages and phone calls. "Do you know you have a son on the show?" "No." And by the way, Bobby, you have a wife. They're casting for your wife. My agent would tell me, he was telling me, Eric Faber, God rest his soul. We lost him some years back. But he was telling me all these things are happening. I said, well, this is a good sign. We were talking about it. Yeah, this is a great sign. It could be, my character's up. And it also could be a boding an omen also. Yeah. And David, just before the season began, he always gave us a call, gave all the guys a call if we were going to leave the show, we're going to get killed, or as in my case, kill myself. And he said, "I have great news. I have some great news, but I have some crappy news too, bad news too. What do you want to hear first?" I said, "Well, tell me the good news." And he said, "Well, we got a family for you. We're building up your role. Terry Winter brought a great episode, and you're a really big part of that episode." And I said, "Well, that's fantastic." And he said, "Well," I said, "What's the?" Well, I said, "The basic, you're dead." And he didn't tell me how it was going to happen, but he said, "You're dead." And David was like a gnome, like a leprechaun, but he just, just amazed by his in and out, like he just pops up everywhere. And I said, "Okay." And I read the script, and there were many, many scripts. I've talked about this before. The script that I had ended with me. I ended the episode, but I didn't know that James was going to get shot, and that was a surprise to me when I watched it at the Ziegfeld. That because they kept everything quiet. That was great. You know, I was cool with that, and it was wonderful experience.
I remember watching your scene when you died. I remember you just staring at the, I didn't know what was happening because we had the Sopranos parties on Sunday nights. I remember watching, and I see you and you're looking at the camera and didn't know what was going to happen. And when that happened, I was so shocked. It was so shocking when that happened because, your character was starting to build us in a little predicament.
Yeah.
You didn't know what was going to happen. He was a really good character, and I really enjoyed watching him. I thought maybe he's going to flip.
Yeah, well, they had that. Some people come up to me and say, "You're a rat." I say, "Yeah, but I was a rat. Even if when did Tony ever go to jail because of what I did? No, I didn't rat out on him. So I mean, I always tell them that. But people are just like they got it in their heads. What were you going to say? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I was going to say, when you did that scene, how hard was that to do? You had a strap on because that was really hard to look like to do. I wouldn't know how to do that. They had a strap underneath you.
Well, Pete Picosi. We rehearsed that scene out, believe it or not, outside the Bada Bing.
Oh,
they
wow.
put up a big tent at Satin Dolls on 17.
Satin Dolls.
And they put up a big tent. Well, drapes, big.
Yep.
Tent, circus tent. It wasn't covered on the top. But anyway, we were rehearsing it. And Pete, we just couldn't get the right strap on. But we did rehearse it. Pete was a great stunt coordinator, and he kind of knew what he needed to get, and he sent away to California for this secure brace. And I had a special brace because I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", weigh 200 pounds. At that time, I probably weighed about 219, 219 probably. Okay. And so we needed something, to brace me, and I felt very confident with that. Yeah. So we rehearsed it there, and it wasn't easy to shoot that scene, to be in that space, but I tried to, kind of get in that space. And Tim Van Patten, great director, who just finished with Ben Franklin on, I don't want to promote Apple TV, which is a pretty good series with Michael Douglas. And he just directed that whole season. I guess it's just one season. It just ends there. But anyway, Tim was suggesting just to stay in that kind of frame, that mind frame. We just kind of continually shot that. Before that, what you're talking about, I stepped off the plank, so to say.
Yeah, that was a shocking scene. I couldn't see that. I didn't see that coming. That's what was so great about Sopranos. You did a great job.
Thank you.
How was Robert De Niro in The Irishman as we kind of moved to?
Well, you mentioned Robert De Niro. He's not too popular nowadays.
I was gonna say, he's not liked by.
I have to be careful when I talk about him. People want to hit me over the head, I mean, I think I worked with him that time. I knew some people that knew him. Robert De Niro. I had some mutual friends, Richard Bright, Al Neary, and Once Upon a Time in America. Chicken Joe, I believe, and Tanya Alder from The Deer Hunter. So I broke the ice and spoke about Richard because he passed away in 2006. He was a good friend of mine. We became fast friends, and basically I would meet him as much as I can. He was like a mentor, and he helped me out with Members Only with that episode, and he really helped me out with my acting. And so anyway, we had something to talk about, and Robert De Niro Bobby was very receptive, and he's just a very quiet and very focused actor, and it was just great to work with him in that scene, and he just gives you so much. And I did audition for something just recently. It's coming out in 25, which I didn't get. But I worked with him again, at the audition, and I just said, "Wow, he's just really so good. He's a terrific actor, really." I mean, politics are politics, but we have to separate that from our work as artists too. And so, I'm gonna have to tell you. I mean,
what about working with Denzel Washington? How was that?
Well, that was a little bit different because, I heard some stories about Denzel that give him his space and everything. Although I kind of regret not saying hi to him, in that car scene when me and Josh Brolin stopped him. Because he had the same teacher I had, Win Hammond from the American Place Theater.
Okay.
And when he would always say that he always tried to get Shakespeare, but he always kind of gave him the third degree when with Shakespeare. So I could have kind of said, hey, we had the same win, and Shakespeare said he's not. I could have joshed him, but you don't know with actors. So I heard that, so I kept to myself, and very professional guy, and we didn't really say two words to each other, but Russell Crowe on the first day of shooting, I'm walking back after we shoot a scene. They called me in, and me and Josh. I met Josh. It was great. We hit it off. And Russell Crowe. We're going back to our trailers, and I get tapped on the back. I turn around. It's Russell Crowe. I said, "Oh man, shit! This is Gladiator, man."
Gladiator.
And he says, "Hey, I'm Russell Crowe." And I said, "Wow, yeah, I'm Bobby Funaro. Nice to meet you."
Yeah.
No, you can't be starstruck, because even James used to tell me all the time, if you're going to be starstruck with everyone, you just got to be yourself, and you can work with anybody. You got to feel that way. You got something to give. But anyway, he came up to me, and it's not true what they say about Russell Crowe. He was a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He was really great. So I got.
What about Josh Brolin?
About Russell, huh? Josh Brolin, he's a trickster crow, man. He looks pretty cool. For that time on set, he was. He is a very nice guy. He became a friend. We didn't really hit it afterward. He lives in California, and anyway, so it was nice for the time it lasted, and we had a good friendship.
Oh wow!
I mean, I'm sure if I saw him, I'd say hello. He'd say, "Hey, what's going on?"
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's cool. Are you still close? I mean, I know between Dan Grimaldi and Jason Sobrone, you guys are still close. Most of you guys.
Yeah, we have a coffee thing going. Dan Grimaldi.
Yes. If you want to talk about that, shopomerta.com.
Yeah, shopomerta.com. We got great coffee, flavored coffee, straight coffee. Woke up this morning. I'm saying straight
and cigars.
Yeah,
nice
and
cigars.
we have cigars also. Here's the thing, it's one thing to promote. We get opportunities to promote things, but the coffee is really. I have it. I mean, I'm lazy. I got the Keurig cups, Dunkin' Donuts. I buy woman gives me 3 for $20. That's 32. But I have to tell you, when I really want a good cup of coffee, I have the non-disposable canister for the Keurig. I put that coffee, or I grind it because I have a grinder too.
You have a grinder?
It grinds the perfect amount into the K cup, the non-disposable K cup, and I put it in. And it's a great cup of coffee. All the coffees are really good. If you like flavor or just straight strong coffee, it's good. And the cigars are very good too. I just had one for Memorial Day. My son comes out, he tells me,
"That's
hey,
very good.
Where's mine?" I said, "I got yours right here. Don't worry about it." I like the dark.
What about Tommy Cutlets?
Tommy Cutlets. That's a different thing. We got these NFTs. That we're selling with Tommy in collaboration with him, this virtual art thing. And by buying the virtual art, you'll be able to have dinners with us and signings and signing pictures, go to signings. So it's different things you get when you buy the NFT at Danico's, that restaurant. We had the 25th anniversary downtown. Different stuff that we're giving to the people who, but there, I don't really get the concept of virtual art because it's not, but I guess really everything is virtual nowadays. So, and you walk into an art gallery and you see a screen with an artwork on it, and it's art. I mean, I know that the Doc Ivan, the artist he does a lot of my artwork. For to promote shows, and he did the Howard Stern show. So I understand there is some really validity in its what it could be, its potential. So we met Tommy at the Paisan Con. And he was signing autographs and taking pictures, and a really great guy, great personality, and had a good time.
Are you a Giants fan?
I am a Giants fan. Yes.
Oh, you are a Giants
fan. Giants. I know James was a Jets fan.
James is a Jets fan. I'm a Jets fan too.
You're a Jets fan too. Yeah, you look like a Jets fan. Yeah. I don't know what it looks like. I like the Jets and the Giants, but I guess I gravitate more towards the Giants.
Giants, yeah. And I'm a Yankee fan also.
I am a Yankee fan. Yeah, too. Cool.
Okay. That's pretty cool. See, you got that in there. Yeah, the Paisan Con was great. I mean, you got to see everybody, and they come flocking for you guys, all of you guys. Whenever we have the Paisan Con, they come flocking to see all you guys.
Name names, but some of those people in the other rooms, man, the next day they wanted to be in that Soprano area, man. Right? right,
Yeah,
Joe?
yeah, it was. You know,
They were in
it was
another
cash
area.
only.
Well, it's just what's popular. I mean, it's just what's popular,
Yeah,
and the
it
show
is
is
what's
just. We're
popular.
really blessed to be on such a great show.
It,
It's the gift. Danny Grimaldi say it's the gift that keeps on giving, and he's
yeah,
right. You know,
it was one of the greatest shows of all time.
yeah.
Easy,
Thank you.
one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Did you do acting classes too? You were teaching
I
classes?
do some Zoom class. I work for this workshop company called VIP Talent, and
Mm-hmm.
I do Zooms with them. I do basically 3 Zooms, an intensive course with them. VIP Talent. They're on Instagram, and
Mm-hmm.
they have the whole package going for actors. And but I direct their actor workshops, a couple
Mm-hmm.
of free actor workshops, all the intensive, and then a general workshop. So I do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. And funny story is that I actually took acting classes with Vince Cortolo, who played Johnny Sack. He was doing that
Yes.
too for a little while. He was that he lives around here too. I would run into him all the time too.
Yeah, was it a live?
Him.
Was it a live class?
It was
Was
on
it,
Zoom, but
oh, it was on Zoom.
he was doing them live too.
Yeah.
In his house too.
Yeah.
But it was at COVID at the time, so he did it online. When
Right.
everything happened.
Yeah, he's a great guy, Vincent. Great actor, and
yes,
he's a great guy.
Yeah. Who were you really close to on the set of Sopranos? Because it seemed like a real family.
Well, I was close to James, of course, because we had
Yes.
that friendship prior. So I was close to him, and then I got really close to Maureen Van Zant and Vinny Pastor, because Maureen and Vincent had this. They still have the theater company, the Renegade Theater Company, and I started. I was asked to do a couple of plays with them, and
Mm-hmm.
then Vincent. We did another play called The Lamppost Reunion, and we
Okay.
sold it out at the Promenade Theater in New York on 73rd Street, I think, and Broadway, and we sold it out with Frank Pellegrino, the owner of Rayo's, and the agent in the show in Sopranos, and Ricky Aiello, God rest his soul. We lost him, but and we had and Vincent Pastor, of course. And Maureen wasn't in that one, but we did other ones, Golden Boy, and we still work together. But it was Maureen and Vincent, and of course now Danny and James, and of course Jimmy. Yeah, that was
Jimmy, of course.
He stripped for a little while. Stevie was living in Staten Island where I was living, so we hung out together a lot too.
Yeah,
Not so much now because he's in New York. I'm in Staten Island.
Yeah.
So.
Everyone talks about Tony Sirico, may he rest in peace. He was a character. How was he in real life? Talking with
great guy.
Tony
He always included me in anything. He said, "Bobby, I want you to come to support the troops at Gino's restaurant in Brooklyn, and we support the Veterans Day." And he always would include me. Him and Ray Garvey, rest his soul too. Ray owned Pips in Sheepshead Bay Comedy Club, and they were good fast friends. And he was a terrific guy. I mean, some people, he was great to me. I mean, I have nothing to say but greatness about him. He was a stand-up guy, and he meant what he said, just like James Cagney. I'm here. What do you hear? What do you say? That's it.
what do you say? Yeah.
He was like a Cagney character. And he did, his work was always on the money. And he worked hard at what he did. He worked hard at that character. People don't realize it, but he really was a perfectionist.
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know. But what about Michael Imperioli?
Well, Michael, we didn't have a lot of stuff together, but when we had that scene at the, when he tells me to get Teddy up in Boston, he asked to rehearse it, and Michael's a very, very consummate actor and a very serious actor, and very, very. All the people on Sopranos, every character, Dre DiMatteo, Aida Totoro, who I'm doing a play with now in Fairfield at the Sacred Heart University Theater, June 21st and 22nd. We've got 3 performances in Fairfield, Connecticut. So we're doing that. I'm working with Aida and John Fiore. Everyone was nice to me. Everyone was nice. I mean, it was a different kind of set. Now, I did a lot of TV afterward. I'm not going to, talk about people, but it was a different kind of atmosphere. Yes. Everyone was treated with respect. And I think that came from the big boss. That came from James Gandolfini. He had such great humility. His humility was like super, super humility. He treated everyone with respect. And I think that iron sharpens iron. That's biblical. It's a proverb.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
The Bible of it. So, and that's true. He sharpened us to have that humility. And to this day, I try to be cool with everybody, regardless. And if people are not cool with me, we just, what are you gonna do?
No, I mean, you like I said, when I met you, you're one of the nicest guys. You, Al Sapienza, all you guys are just great to your fans because we love this show. I mean, no matter what happens and no matter what you do, the Sopranos, they're going to always remember Sopranos because it's one of the greatest shows of all time. You know,
Well,
you're
thanks.
such a great actor.
Thank you, man. I'm just so blessed to, to be part of that. I mean, I didn't really realize it. And as I said, after the crisis, boy, it just kind of swelled up everything that we're doing. La Familia, Caldwell, New Jersey, at the restaurant. Me, John Bianco, Tony Darrow, Vincent Pastore. We're doing a dinner. So anybody out there in Jersey wants to go to dinner with us,
that's right, guys.
June 6th, Caldwell, New Jersey.
June 6th, you're going to be there?
Yes, be there. There's still tickets available to have dinner with us. Darrow, Pastore, myself, John Bianco, Artie Pasquale too. Steven Strails of, They usually, I don't want to say anything.
Wow, I'm probably going to be there June 6th to see you guys.
Good, that'd be great for you to be there.
Great. Sit down because you're in Staten Island, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm in Staten Island. I'm on the South Shore. I live in Newdorf. It's currently sunny. I don't see too many clouds.
So what else you got coming up?
Well, I have that theater thing coming up. The Petrillos by Trailblazer Productions at Sacred Heart University Theater, and we also doing a fundraiser there on the 21st. Not only me, Dan Grimaldi, Jason Sorbonne will be there. I believe Agent Harris he's going to be there.
Matt Savino.
Matt Savino is going to be there. I don't know. I think Kathy Narducci might be there. There's a lot of people that are going to be there. Kathy, I believe, is going to be there. And
what's the fundraiser for?
It's for the theater company.
The theater company.
For the theater company there, because they're starting Sacred Heart University Theater, starting a theater there, an off Broadway house. So it's for the theater. It goes to a good cause, and you get to meet and do selfies with us and everything, and sign autographs and that too. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Is there? Do you think there's anything you could top the Sopranos after the Sopranos? That's the best. Is it hard to reach that top again on a hit show like that?
But Joe, you all you can do is just try to. I mean, I'm really blessed that I can stay in the game. I don't have a lot of other stuff that I'm doing, to do it. So, I mean, if you look at the trajectory of actors, like Dom Chinese is a perfect example. Played Johnny Olo, was in some great films. Yeah, and he waited about 7-10 years before Sopranos came up. Yeah, but this business is really about staying with it. And you want to give something, that you have something to give, and being in the right place at the right time. You can never say never that another series. I mean, I don't want to compare. I mean, you know what I mean. But another series can come up. I like the Beatles and I like Bruce, but I also like the Foo Fighters. They were a new band come out. Dave Grohl. I'm going to see them in July. So you never know. Another good band, another good series, but you can't look for it. It's got to be there. You got to be in the right place at the right time. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find you get a lot of gangster roles offered to you?
I'm typecast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when Eric was around, Faber was around, he kind of got me into some stuff that I really wouldn't, and I could show. It gave me a little bit more variety. In the theater, I get to, even though I'm playing Uncle Sal here in the Petrillos, he's still not a gangster. He's more like a Roy Scheider marathon man, kind of works for the government, and it's a comedy, by the way. But I do get typecast a lot. But with Eric, he got me into Sinner, and I played Jessica Biel's father-in-law. That was a good series, The Sinner, with Chris Mason. Although I think his name was Ron Tanner, and they made the name Tanetti. So I couldn't totally escape it, but I did get a chance to be an Italian, but not a Goomba. But I have done it more theater than that. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough until you get to that point where you can have control and choose. Yeah, like Michael's doing Enemy of the People. Imperial is doing Enemy of the People.
Okay.
Well, a lot of Sopranos, if you notice, they're not in a lot of mainstream films, and a lot of times we get typecast out because we know him from Sopranos. We don't want him. So it's kind of a double double whammy at
Double
times.
sword.
Because there's nothing wrong with a wise guy role as long as
No.
if it's true, meaningful, and it's interesting. It's
Yeah.
interesting to play those roles because you get to see another. But it could be pedantic at times, especially if they're not really well written.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, you do a great job, and you're a great, talented actor. I appreciate taking the time. You're such a great guy, and I'm going to see you in June at that La Familia.
Oh,
We're going to meet up. I'm going to see you.
Totally, yeah. Good, great. Come meet Daryl.
Yeah.
He's a character. Tony Darrell's a real character. He's
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
He's funny.
He is something else.
Johnny Bianco, he's a good guy, and Artie's really got. He's the funniest.
Oh, is he?
He's funny.
Yeah. I was talking to Andrew. I'm going to have probably Jason come on soon. How's Jason?
Jason's a great guy. Great guy. He's
into guy. Working out, so that's good.
He works out and he does Zooms. I guess teaches. He does. He's really. I mean, sometimes I put like I say I was taking a picture. He doesn't like to stand next to me because I'm too tall. He goes to the other side. Bobby's too tall. But when you putting her hands on his shoulder, that don't make me gay. I'm only kidding, right? I remember Don Irera, there was a comedian, Don Irera, working at Caroline. So he would say stuff like that. I did this with this guy. Well, I don't want to say anything. Yes. Anyway, I'll shut up. Anyway, I just feel it's like tight, man. Like, and I know you must work out too, because you look like you
I work out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's like, forget it. This guy's feeling like tight, man, It's
yeah, that's cool.
It's hard.
That's cool, man. Yeah, definitely. Well, I appreciate your time. When you get together in Jersey,
yes,
you're the best. Like I said, I love you. Thank you for coming on.
Love you too.
I'll hopefully see you soon, June 6th. Again, shopamurder.com, right?
Yes.
Get cigars, get cafe, got everything going on there. You're going to be at a play in Fairfield, right?
Yes, Fairfield, the Petrello House, Trailblazer Productions at the Sacred Heart University Theater for a fundraiser on the 21st. And we have 3 performances, 20th, 21st, 22nd.
Yeah,
check it
exactly.
out.
Check it out. Everyone needs to check it out in Jersey. And Bobby, again, you got my number. When you're up this way, let's get some dinner together too, me and you.
Definitely do it, man.
You definitely do it, man. I appreciate everything.
Instagram, everything's on Instagram. You find all the information. Okay.
Yeah, where you can find Instagram, Robert Funaro. You're the best, brother.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate everything.
Brother. Yeah, man.
Thank you, man.